How's it going, viewers? Mr. Incredi-Brony is back and he's rolling with the punches, baby. Welcome to a ranking tier list. Now, before we get into this, let me just explain something quickly. In one of my more previous videos I did yesterday, my reaction to Zack Speed's most overhated characters. Let me just make this clear. I respect everybody's opinion. I was just being over dramatic. That's the problem with being a YouTuber. You need to be a bit dramatic sometimes, and that way your viewers see your expression and emotion, you know? I was just being funny. I'm actually a really nice guy. I respect everyone's opinion, so everything I said was really just a joke. But I did have some opinions, of course. You know, I'm just shocked to hear someone's opinions. They shocked, you shocked. But in the end, we all respect each other's opinions. But speaking of opinions, we're going to be doing a bunch of tier lists today. So no reactions, I'm afraid. And as you can tell, I'm in a different location because I'm alone in my house right now. And I'm taking care of my sister's dog. She's busy today with the parents, and I volunteered to take care of the dog. So I'm all alone here, which is great. I could do nothing but tier lists for y'all. And yeah. The first tier list we're going to be doing is the Marvel Cinematic Universe Trilogies. I've done all the movies, I've done the Spider-Man movies, so it makes sense to do the MCU Trilogies. Let's get into this. 1, 2, 3, cue the music. Alright, starting off we have the Ant-Man Trilogy. That consists of Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Honestly, 2 good starts, but a terrible third movie. I did not like the Quantumania. The first 2 I actually find enjoyment in. I'm not like in love with them, but they're fun for what they are. So the trilogy starts off promising, has a pretty fun middle, but then ends terribly. Has a terrible third movie. I don't know if it's the final Ant-Man movie, but if it is, then terrible way to end it. So for that reason, the Ant-Man and the Wasps gets, in the end, I'm putting it in the B tier. It could be worse, but it could have been a lot better, honestly. And then we have the Thor trilogy. So that consists of Thor in the Dark World, and Thor Ragnarok. Weirdly enough, Thor Love and Thunder isn't included, which is good because that film sucks. However, the first 2 Thor movies aren't that special in my opinion. They're 2 of the weaker films, although Thor in the Dark World does have Loki, who is amazing. And Ragnarok is absolutely hilarious. I really do like that film. But the 4 movies really are probably the weakest of the entire franchise in the Marvel world. Can we agree on that? So for that reason, they go in the C tier. The 4 trilogy has to go in the C tier. Okay, then we have the Iron Man trilogy. The first one, really great, honestly. A great start to an epic franchise, which goes downhill from now. I don't care about the MCU, really. The second film, good and bad. There's good and bad in it. The third movie is honestly my favorite of the trilogy. I actually enjoyed that one the most personally. Second one, like I said, there are things I like, but things I don't like about it. And the first one is a fun watch. So yeah, you know what? The Iron Man trilogy is actually good and holds up well. I give it an A tier. Now we have the Captain America trilogy. So that means Captain America, the First Avenger, good origin film. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, amazing film, definitely top 10 worthy. And Captain America Civil War, another really great film. I do think Captain America Winter Soldier is my favorite Captain America film, but I gotta say, these 3 films are actually really great overall. The First Avenger isn't amazing, but I still really like it. So for that, I'm putting the Captain America trilogy in the S tier, without a doubt. Let's agree on that. Now we have the Spider-Man trilogy of the MCU, of course. Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. If you've seen any of my videos related to Spider-Man, you know I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think Homecoming is the worst Spider-Man movie to date. I think it doesn't do justice to the web slinger himself. I'm not really a fan of Tom Holland's performance as Spider-Man in his standalone film. But in the MCU films, I think he's spectacular. I actually really like him in those films because the Russo brothers know how to direct it. Whereas Homecoming and even Far From Home to an extent, I'm not exactly a fan of his character. The villains had potential, but then because of the MCU's comedic routes, they kind of ruined the villains that we know and love. I still think Homecoming, so yeah, Homecoming, I don't care about it. Far From Home fixes some issues, but it's nothing that special. The ending, honestly, could have been a lot better, honestly. But Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio was amazing. As for No Way Home, the first time I watched it, I loved it. But when I watch it again and again and again, I realize the film does feel like it's a bit too much fan service, and the way the way it makes some of the characters act, including Maguire and Garfield Spider-Man, feels off to me. I'm not really a fan of what they did to them. It's weird. But honestly, it's still a really fun film, and I think it makes me actually respect Tom Holland more, and I'm looking forward to what comes next for Spider-Man. But I think, as my sister said it best, they're probably going to screw it up and make it all funny again. And she's probably right, so yeah. The Spider-Man trilogy of the MCU, I'm putting it in the B tier. Better than Ant-Man, but not by a long shot, because it has it has a terrible first movie, a decent second one, but a good third one. It's a good end, but not amazing. So I'm putting it in the B tier. And then we have the Avengers trilogy. Okay, Avengers Age of Ultron, and Infinity War. I'm glad Endgame is on this. I think Endgame is overrated, because really the only great thing about Endgame is literally the final 25 minutes, and that's it. The whole beginning and intro and everything, I couldn't care less. But Infinity War is easily top 5 MCU films. I adore it from beginning to end. So much happens. I won't spoil everything, but I was shocked by every scene in the film. There wasn't a single scene that I did not like. Well, except for making Star-Lord a bit of a dummy and making him the reason that they couldn't get the gauntlet off Thanos. But other than that, I still love the movie. Age of Ultron, it's okay. Fun moments, but nothing too special to write about. And the first Avengers film holds up very decently. It's definitely better than the original Justice League film we got from 2011, was it, I think? But it's not Zack Snyder Justice League, without a doubt. But the Avengers first movie is actually still very good. I think it's a good film. Age of Ultron is just meh, and Infinity War, incredible. So for that reason, I'm putting this in the A tier. I would say it's definitely better than the Iron Man trilogy by just a little bit, but not by a long shot. And finally, we have the best for last, the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. My mother and I are in love with these characters. We love Star-Lord, we love Rocket, we love Gamora, we love Drax, we love Mantis, we love Groot. We love pretty much all 3 films are consistently funny and shocking at times. And every death in each film is handled extremely well. The death of Yondu in the second film was very emotional, and the twist villain in the second movie is definitely my favorite. I think Ego is my favorite villain of the trilogy because he actually had a motivation that made sense. Ronan was okay, but he did feel like he felt like more like a crybaby throughout the film, and he didn't really do anything that epic in the end. But the first movie handled Groot's death very well, even though it was upsetting to see him go. But luckily, we see him evolve, literally, as a character. And Drax also improves in the third movie. He actually becomes what he's always wanted to be, a father, since Ronan annihilated his wife and daughter, as he explains in the first movie. And the third movie, like, oh my gosh. Okay, the movie's still recent, but I won't spoil anything. But what I will say is that my mother and I had an epic time at the cinema. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had in any cinema in a long time. We laughed, we cried, everything. We were confused, we were shocked, we gasped, we did every single emotion. It's the best MCU movie since Infinity War. That's something I never thought I'd say. I thought Infinity War could never be beaten, but somehow this is officially my favorite MCU film, and that's why Guardians of the Galaxy is the perfect trilogy, without a doubt. First movie, 10 out of 10. Second movie, 9 out of 10. Third movie, 9.5 out of 10. I still think the first movie is my favorite. I still would say the first movie is my favorite because I think it has the best introduction to any characters ever, in my personal opinion. Other than that, Guardians of the Galaxy, definitely MCU's best trilogy. And since James Gunn is not directing any more movies for the MCU, I'm okay with that, because James Gunn could have been the only reason the MCU was amazing. But honestly, I'm satisfied. I am satisfied with this. And there you go. Those are all the trilogies. From worst to best, it's Thor trilogy, then Ant-Man, then Spider-Man, then Iron Man, then Avengers, then Captain America, and then Guardians of the Galaxy. That's worst to best. So yeah, love you all viewers, and I shall see you all in the next video. If you're in a particular one, leave a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're interested, follow me on Instagram, link down below. And until then, stay positive, keep calm, stay safe, be incredible. And as always, Brony on. Peace.